G'day and welcome to another massive edition of the MCDFNL Footy Show. All thanks to our friends at the Bendigo Bank. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by Mitch, the operations manager. Mate, I know we don't have any games this weekend, which is exciting because all the players get to have a little bit of a break, but you didn't get to have a break on Sunday, did you, mate? We had some junior interleague matches take place and the guys and girls put on a really good show. Yeah, we had our under-18s and 15s footballers playing and our 13s, 15s and 17s netballers, so plenty of kids got a game on the weekend and we had a couple of wins there and a couple of losses, a draw and a couple within goals, so we had some great matches and it was good just to have the kids have a run around. And some great weather up there in sunny Bendigo, and we had some great weather on the weekend as we look back on the latest round of MCDFNL Senior Footy, and we'll talk about our first game. Natty Pialba defeated Maldon by just 11 points, a nice close one, Mitchy. We know the Swans were tested the previous week against the Saints and the Bombers had a disappointing loss to Navarre. So this is kind of a result that maybe threw everyone off guard a little bit. Yeah, it was good to have a close game. We almost had an upset. Would have been unreal if Maldon had got up. Looked much closer than I anticipated, and I need to give more credit to Maldon. I think last week I thought they were probably going to be pretty comfortably looked at, but Natty got the job done in the end, and I think they'll be counting themselves lucky. Oh, I couldn't agree with you more there, mate. The Bombers were up by a point at three-quarter time, and it would have been good if they had got up over the line and really thrown a spanner in the works. But I don't doubt for a second that Natty be able to walk away going, okay, well, that was a bit of a fright. What do we need to do to turn that form around? Yeah, and they'll hit back with a big win, I think, after the bye. Yeah, and the Bombers will use that as confidence. Speaking of a big win, Royal Park 29-21, 195 defeated Campbell's Creek 8-6-54. Now, the upside about this result is Campbell's Creek kicked their highest score in exactly 12 months, I think, because these two teams faced off 12 months ago, and that was Campbell's Creek kicked 6 goals. That was their highest score since then. So coincidentally, round 7. Yeah, and some would probably look at the margin here and say there's not much to say, but as you said, Creek kicked their biggest score in 12 months, and for this season, obviously. And look, they'll keep battling hard for the rest of the year. And they did kick a score in the final term as well. So to kick 8 goals in 3 quarters has been fantastic. It was a sort of a tough game. Creek had only kicked 12 goals in its six games heading into this particular one. So great showing there. Brown kicked 8 goals there for the Tigers, 50 scoring shots. I think they'll be happy with that. They will be very happy with that. Look, Royal Park, they need to do a bit more work to get this season back on track, but they've just snuck into the 8 now, so they'll be working ahead for the rest of the year. Definitely a quality contender when they're up and firing. Harcourt, 255, defeating Denali, 31. The Lions banged through a lazy 12 in the third and a staggering 11 goals won in the last term, Mitchie. 23 goals in that second half. Just outstanding football to watch from them. Yeah, look, another massive result here. Harcourt kicking fairly straight with 40 goals, 15. I'll be looking closely at Harcourt though, and Navarre, which will be an interesting matchup, I think, in the coming weeks. Yeah, definitely right there, mate. One of the big surprises coming out of that game was Kyle Gillingham. He kicked 11 goals. That's 20 in 2 weeks for him. Not a bad addition to the Lions to have someone who can stand up and kick a bag. Yeah, and I think clubs will be starting to take a lot more notice of him in the coming weeks and try to put a stop on him because he's obviously a major force at that club. Spot on there, mate. They would have loved to have a bit sooner, maybe get a few more wins on the board, but they're travelling okay in the top 4. Speaking of travelling okay, we've got Navarre, 121 defeating Newstead, 32. The Grasshoppers, they are definitely up and about. They are. York Navarre have certainly got their season up and going at the moment. They've got Harcourt, Lexington and Rovers in the next few weeks, which will probably indicate where they sit amongst those sort of teams. They're all on the same sort of level, and that'll tell us a lot more about where their season's at and where it's going to go this year. Yeah, they certainly seem to be doing all the right things at the moment. They've got they're pushing their way. They pushed their way into the top 8 after the weekend, and they're getting back to some of that football which we knew they could be so dangerous about. And Newstead, a bit disappointing there. They would have hoped that they could hit the scoreboard a little bit more. Yeah, exactly right. I had the same idea. I thought you said probably would have put up a better fight than they did, but they'll look to improve over the next few weeks. Small win for them as they went goal for goal with the Grasshoppers in the final term. We ask this question almost every week. What sort of Maryborough Rovers outfit's going to show up? And Mitchie, they showed up in winning form. That's exactly what they did against Lexington by 23 points. Yeah, fairly close contest here as predicted, but it could have been a lot bigger if Rovers actually kicked straight. They just need to find that consistency now to be for the rest of the year if they're going to be a contender come towards the end of the season. Yeah, 30 scoring shots. Definitely could have done with a bit more accuracy there. Johnny Murphy, he stepped up, kicked 6 of the 11 there for the Rovers, while Lexington, definitely one that they reckon they got away from them because they have been in some pretty good form.
They have been, and I think they'll troublesome teams, and I think Rovers, once they do their best, they'll troublesome sides when the finals come around, I think.
Spot on there, mate. Talbot, 106 defeating Avoca, 59. I know Avoca were missing a few, but Talbot just sort of flexing their muscles, kicked 6 goals to 3 in the final term, and set up a big win there.
Yeah, Talbot just continuing on their way. Avoca, they put up a pretty good contest in the end. But as you look at the ladder, Avoca are only one game out of the 8 at the moment. So they just need to get a couple more wins, and they might be on their way.
Yeah, and they've certainly, after the break, they are playing Newstead, and they win that game, which they'd be highly fancied to. Look out, they'll be up and about there. So I think Aaron Henneman kicked two goals in the first term there and got some really good form.
You have to mention him, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Look, when you see a former Bomber running around in your competition, mate, there's every reason to get up and about and getting excited. He's a sensational player. In the final game, Carisbrook 12-17-89 defeating a disappointing Trentham 3-6-24 over at Trentham.
Yeah, Carisbrook showing they're certainly contenders this year. While Trentham will be pretty unhappy, I think, with that effort on the weekend. They were probably in the game at quarter time, even at half time. I think they were still in the contest. So to not battle it out for the whole game would be pretty disappointing.
Absolutely, and the Redbacks they've been very, very solid this year. They kicked 8-15 to 1-5 after quarter time. So for the Saints, they kicked 1 goal after quarter time. And I know Carisbrook, they would have loved to have added a few more goals on that scoreboard, but only sort of kicking 8 goals from 22 scoring shots in that second half. Probably would have loved to have made a statement there.
Yeah, that's right. It's not like they need percentage, but they could have certainly have built that percentage up even higher if they kick straight.
Put some doubt into the Trentham minds. And I know we've got the break, a much welcome break this week, but we've got a big highlight that we're going to pump up as when we return after the break. It's the great man Trevor Fields over at Avoca. He's playing his 600th game for the club. That is pretty exciting, mate.
Yeah, it's an unreal achievement. I can't even comprehend how many games, like how many years of footy that would take to get those games up. And it's a credit to him. He's obviously had a pretty good run with injuries and that type of thing, and he's played year in, year out, and it's a fantastic achievement. One
of the more interesting characters on the footy field for those who have seen him in action. He is a very interesting character. Love the way he goes about things. He's a little bit old school, but I think it's fantastic. Just adds a little bit of extra dimension to the game, which is great. So we're urging everyone to head over to Avoca on the 16th of June. Get down there, get your backside trackside, and get down and watch the reserves kick off at I think about 12:35. But the seniors is also going to be a good game as well.
Absolutely, and apart from the game, you'll have a record article and an article on the website next week as well, hopefully. So, plenty of things to read up on and get a good insight to the man.
Absolutely right there, mate. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week, mate. I hope you enjoy the week off. You got any big plans just to put your feet up a bit, or?
No, there's a lot of catching up to do, but we'll get there and we'll enjoy the week off, and we'll get stuck back into the rest of the season next week.
Fantastic. We hope you guys have a fantastic week off, and all thanks to our friends at Bendigo Bank. This has been the MCDFNL Footy Show. Looking back on round 7, we'll catch you next week.